To the conflict in the Middle East and the unrelenting idiocy that defines the West's support of terror. Now, I want to do another quick fly around the world and look at some of the horrific attacks on Jews just this week. Then, because as we all know and learnt from the events of Amsterdam, when a handful of bad behaving Israeli fans were apparently the justification for a sickening Jew hunt, these attacks only occur not because of anti-Semitism, no, God no, but because, of course, the Jews started it. So first, and we always have to be fair here, I'll show you the incident. Then I'll show you where the Jewish community attacked first, because clearly it's science. So let's kick it off in Canada. Mobs rioting in the streets. Even Justin Trudeau, potentially the weakest leader in the world, but as I said last week, competition in that division, well, it's stiff. He called the violent attacks anti-Semitic, but according to the Amsterdam theory, that cannot be true. The Jews must have started it. So now let's go to the pictures of the catalyst, the rioting Jews. Oh, no, wait, I knew we would. We found it. An incident involving a Jewish man in Montreal. He must have provoked the entire thing. Oh no, he was just being Jewish, having a coffee, but moved on by police because apparently his presence wearing a kippah near a pro-Palestine rally was a threat to public order. In the United Arab Emirates, Rabbi Zvi Kogan was horrifically murdered. Not that you'd know from the New York Times coverage. Israeli rabbi who disappeared in Dubai is found dead. Sounds like a tragic accident. No, he was brutally killed for the crime of being Jewish. But if we apply the logic of the well thought out and evidence-based Amsterdam theory, he must have started it. This incredibly loving, kind and generous human being who had devoted his life to God must have been at fault in some way, shape or form. Because there is no way he was killed just for being Jewish. That doesn't happen, they tell us. So let's roll the vision now of him starting it. In Melbourne, the Jewish community themselves were forced to come out and defend a synagogue after plans of a pro-Palestine protest across the road emerged. In fairness, according to the AT, the Amsterdam theory, the protests would have only been reactionary. The Jews must have gone to another religion's place of worship to intimidate and harass. Fair's fair. We cannot conceal the truth. Roll that vision now, please. In Washington, D.C., a random man wearing a kippah was harassed by a Palestinian news network.
I'm not afraid to talk in public on the street.
He's afraid.
I think the Palestinians are entitled to a state.
Okay.
And they would have had it multiple times if they put down their guns and cut out the terrorism.
Sure, go back to Europe, you schmuck.
Now, I don't even need to play the crickets. You know he did nothing prior. He's Jewish, therefore deserves to be harassed and then insulted. In London, Jewish schoolgirls were violently attacked, glass bottles thrown at their heads, hospitalized. Again, no crickets required. You know, they didn't start it, they didn't deserve it. They did not stand a chance in a country that continues to shamefully tolerate and at times encourage the most vicious attacks on a minority group, yes, just because of the God to which they pray. This isn't rocket science, by the way. I'm not a genius, unfortunately. Other media could do this too. Point out the bleeding obvious. So why don't they? And for those sitting there now thinking, and I get it, I'm not Jewish, I'm not from Israel. Look, that stuff's not nice, but it doesn't really affect me. It does. It already is. Our own Christmas traditions here in Australia, the unveiling of the Maya window, ruined this year by these protesters. In New York overnight, a Thanksgiving parade ruined by these protesters. You don't need to stand with Israel or agree with every move they make to stand against what their enemies represent. But they are the only country currently fighting back and destroying the terrorists currently trying to destroy our way of life. At least for the most part, Israel's enemy is on the outside. Yes, they're close and they're dangerous, but as a country, regardless of each individual's own political persuasions, they know definitively what they don't want. Because when that ideology is emboldened, they die. For most people in the West, that's not the case yet. But as this movement grows, and it is, we won't have an iron dome to protect us. Unlike Israel, the enemy in the West is already within. And the damage they will be capable of with just a little more encouragement and leniency will be unthinkable.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Dejobnik signing off.